What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the poker vlog. Today, we're not playing 10 cents, 20 cents anymore. We're up in the stakes, heading out to Pasadena to go play in a $1 or $2 home game. Shout out to the guys hosting. The game's always a great time. And for stack sizes, it's a $100 buy-in to start. But as the night goes on, if you bust, then it's match the stack after that. So stack sizes range all the way from down from 100 all the way up to $500. There's a $5 straddle a decent amount of the time, so some of the pots get relatively big and they get pretty interesting. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Shout out to Ira for letting us use this beautiful car to drive over to Pasadena. With LA traffic, the drive takes about an hour, 15 minutes. So definitely not a quick drive, but on the way back with no traffic, it's only 25. So we're with Ira, also with our friend Jeffrey, who introduced us to this game, and we're about to head into the house. The first interesting hand we look down at is King Jack off on the button. We decided 3-bet middle position open to $25, and we down bet to a size of 15 on a board of 997 with 2 hearts. This bet gets the job done, and we're on to the next hand. Moving on, we now upgrade from King Jack off to King Queen off on the button, and we face the same middle position open. We're going to try and 3-over this player again, so we raise it up to 20, and he calls. So going to the flop comes Ace, 9, Jack, Rainbow. The middle position player now leads out for $26, and here, most of the time, he's going to have an ace, so we go ahead and fold our gut shot. On to the next one. This hand, we're going to be playing on the button again. We see a hijack open to $11 and the cutoff call. We decide to go ahead and 3-bet to 35. However, the hijack now fires back with a re-raise, and we have a pretty easy fold here as you don't think he has many 4-bet bluffs in his range. This hand, there's now a button straddle on, and we look down at Ace-5 suited under the gun +1, raise it up to $17. The button calls, and the flop comes Deuce-9 with the clubs. We do have the backdoor not flush draw. This board definitely favors the button caller's range a lot more than ours. We check, and he pretty quickly fires out $25. We think maybe he could be on tilt, kind of betting with any 2 cards, so we decide to call and see a turn, which comes a 5 of hearts. We now have a small piece of this board. However, he definitely could have a 9 or other higher pocket pair in his range. When he bets out 25 again, we think he still could be doing this with numerous random card combinations. So after thinking it over for a little bit, we decide our 5 is going to be strong enough to go ahead and make the call. The river now comes a 3 of diamonds. We decide to go and check it over again, hoping to see a check back and show our 5 at showdown and be good. We do. He snap checks it back. However, he has a 9. So our read was a little off on this one, but it's all right. On to the next one.
He didn't believe me. He had 7s probably or 8s.
At this point, we're stuck a couple $100, but we've added on, so we have around a $300 stack. We looked on a pocket kings under the gun +1, so we're excited to see this one, raise it up to $7. Player directly to my left decides to make the call, and the big blind flicks in the extra $5 for a call as well. So we're going 3 raise to a flop with a premium hand, which now comes 8-8-5. Here we're going to go ahead and continuation bet for a small size of $7. The player to our left now decides to flat our $7 bet. The big blind now takes an interesting line by raising it up to $27. We think he could be doing this with the 5, maybe trying to protect his hand against players with a couple overcards. So we put in the extra $20 for the call. The player to our left calls it well. So that's a little scary. He definitely could have an 8 in his range. The turn is now another 8. So we have 3 8s on the board. And the player directly in front of us decides to go all in for $112. Here we're going to go into the tank for a long time. As you can see, I go ahead and count out the chips. Right now, I'm definitely leaning towards a call. A few notes that I want to mention about this player that just went all in is that he loves to trap pre-flop. We've seen him numerous times just flat with aces, with some other high pocket pairs in order to somewhat disguise his hands for post-flop play. So aces are definitely in his range. However, he could have queens, jacks, 10s. Maybe he's trying to shove, deny equity from overcards, such as his flop raise earlier. So knowing that all those hands are in his range, we're thinking that kings will probably have to be a call. However, we have to remember that we also have a player behind us. So what could the player behind us really be calling a flop bet and a flop raise with? We assume the player was probably 3-betting with any two cards 10s plus. So if you count all that out of his range, along with the fact that he probably would not call a flop 3-bet with a 5 or 6s, 7s, 8s, or 9s, and knowing that the person that went all in is literally never ever bluffing in this spot, I think our decision is going to have to be with putting these two kings into the muck. Horse. Okay, now I'm glad I
Fonz got it.
What'd you have? The player that went all in had queens, and the player behind us had that case 8. But that fold was a purely exploitative play.
Dude, that's a sick fold. Yeah, I could never.
Were you even thinking
Did
about
you-
my hand?
No,
Did
honestly,
you consider me in the hand? I don't think you did.
I kept telling him too.
I know. I wish you would have shut up.
Yeah, I knew where you were.
Well,
I
every
know,
single
but like,
yeah, but like if he like fucking says something that
they're like, come
that
action.
like gets you to call him and you didn't have that and
John wanted him to call so
No,
bad.
it's kind of, you know, I'm in the
No,
hand. Like, I have like
no,
a stone
well-
cold nuts, and I'm not even a factor to him.
Moving on from pocket kings, we look down at an even better hand, pocket aces. There's a button straddle on this one, so we raise it up to $20. The straddler calls our initial $20 bet, and Ira now decides to go ahead and 3-bet to $60. Just want to go ahead and thank Ira here for that free $60 that he's just given us, but 60 is not enough. We decide to go and shove in our entire stack for around $150.
No, flip the
Oh, my coffee.
You know, I'll go.
Every time I get up for coffee, I win. I like
Oh,
Kings.
ladies.
Bro,
I know it's coming.
This
I
guy's
don't like
lucky.
it.
This guy always fucking hits
no
the
queen.
river.
Oh no.
He always
what do
hits
you
the
need
river.
over there? Call it out.
The river is clean as it is the 4 of hearts, and we're going to go ahead and scoop a nearly $320 pot.
Hey, I forgot my external charger and cable.
On me, right? 7. The night is starting to wind down as we're now playing 5-handed. When we look down at King Jack off under the gun, we decide to raise it up to $7. Everyone calls, so family pot, which comes ace, ace, 8, rainbow. It's going to go ahead and check to us. Here, we definitely have the range advantage as we have all the aces in our range. So we decided to c-bet for $10. Folds around to Ira, the last guy, and he decides to fold his cards. So we get a small bluff through to rack up a little bit of chips. In our final hand of the night, we see a button open and we're in the big, so we decide to put in the $5 for the call. With Queen Jack of clubs, the flop comes Queen 5 deuce with 2 hearts. So we check it over to the pre-flop aggressor. He decides a continuation bet for $15. And here with top pair good kicker, we have an easy call. The turn is now the 8 of hearts. Brings in a lot of draws. We definitely don't want to blow the pot up anymore. We decide to check and flow, and he quickly checks back. The river is now the 4 spades, and this particular player is pretty aggressive. So we think if we check and he has nothing, he'll bluff at it. We check, he instantly checks back again. He announces he has a queen 3. We have queen jack, so that beats queen 3, and we rack up a profit on the night. When we get back to UCLA campus, we get a fortune that says take risks, the payoff will be grand, so maybe we need to bluff a little more. We end up winning about $40 on the session, but it definitely feels like a lot bigger win because we were able to make that fold with the pocket kings. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.